Hello everyone and welcome to another video. As of a couple of weeks ago, my boyfriend and I have now been living in Japan for 3 months. That is so scary. I can't believe that it's already been 3 months. So much has happened in that time, it's absolutely insane. We're now in our second apartment. I'm on my second work job thingy, and we've also learned how to do all the adulty things like pay our bills and register our address and do all the stuff like that. So in celebration of us living in Japan for 3 months, I wanted to make a video on the things that I love and hate about living in Tokyo. I'm just gonna go ahead and say here that I don't hate living in Tokyo by any stretch. I love living here. I feel very privileged and very lucky to get the opportunity to live in Japan. But there are things that I love more than others, and there are things that I don't like quite as much. I wanted to make a video that showed both sides of the spectrum. Okay, so we'll start with the things that I love about living in Tokyo. Number one, the city itself. I love Tokyo as a city. It's my favorite city in the entire world. The first time I came here, I was absolutely blown away by how amazing and beautiful and interesting and sprawling it was. It's so lively and busy, but in strange small spurts. It's like really peaceful. You can be in a massive business district and then walk 5 minutes and be surrounded by really little houses in a really domestic sort of space, and there's no noise and there's no cars and the streets are really little. I find it really interesting about Tokyo how diverse it is in terms of really big buildings and really small buildings and parks, and it's just so different. And there's trees everywhere. I love how green Tokyo is all the time, and it's so big, which sounds really obvious, but I'm from a tiny town, and in Tokyo you can just walk and walk and walk and walk and it never ends, and it's just, there's something so magical about this city and I absolutely love it. Okay, second, the crows in Yoyogi Park. At first I thought that they were absolutely terrifying, but over time I've grown to really love them. They're just so huge and creepy and gothic and beautiful in the best ways. I think they're really cool. Number 3, easy access to choco pie. I don't think I need to explain that one. Number 4, the public transport system. The trains here are amazing. They're always on time, they're always reliable, they're always clean, and they generally always have English. Number 5, this one deserved a category all of its own, and it is the heated seats on the train. During winter, they are absolutely amazing. Number 6, the fact that the culture is so drastically different from my own. Everything is interesting and different and strange and wonderful, and it's just so amazing to experience constantly. And not to mention, because there's so much Japanese here, I am constantly forced to improve my Japanese, to improve my Japanese accent, and to improve my reading. So that's another really wonderful thing about living here as well. Okay, number 7, the clothes. Clothes, makeup, accessories, shoes, everything like that is so much cheaper here than it is in Australia. There's also a lot more selection of different styles. Like in Australia, a lot of the clothes shops are just the same sort of style of clothes again and again and again, and there's nothing really eclectic or weird or different or interesting, but I love the clothes here. And as I said, it's way cheaper, so much cheaper. Like for example, there are shops here entirely dedicated to selling adorable socks and stockings. That is amazing. That would never happen in Australia, and I absolutely love those stores. Number 8, the accessibility to nature. Even though Tokyo is a massive city, you can get on a train and travel south for an hour and be in Kamakura and go see the Daibatsu. Or you can travel northwest and you can go climb a mountain. Even though it's a huge city, you are still not that far removed from nature and from hiking trails and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's something that I really love about living here. Number 9, the people here are mostly really nice. Everyone is super polite. I know that's something that everyone says about Japan, but it really is true. 99%. That was a crow. 99% of the time, everyone is going to be absolutely lovely to you. Service people who work in shops are always going to speak to you with the utmost respect. It's a cultural thing, but it's really nice to have people be polite all the time. And this is also especially the case if you can speak Japanese. If you bump into someone, and you say sumimasen, which means excuse me, and it means sorry. It also means thank you, but in this context it means sorry. People really appreciate it. People will smile at you so much if you show that you bothered to learn Japanese, and that's something that's really nice. Number 10, winter. I love the winter here so much. I know obviously it hasn't been winter in the last 3 months, but the first 2 times I traveled to Japan for holiday, I traveled in winter, and I just love it so much. The winters here are obviously very, very cold, but the sky is like always blue and it hardly ever rains and everything's so sunshiny and cold, and it's just the most amazing weather. It's the best combination of sunny, blue skies and like chilly days. I love it so much. I cannot wait for everything to get more autumnal and cozy and wintry and cold, and I'm so excited. Number 11, there are art supply and stationery stores everywhere. It's absolutely amazing. And the very last one is food. I love Japanese food so much. Like the food that is traditionally Japanese, like katsu curry, I love omurice, I love like all of those kinds of food, but I also love like the konbini, I love the snacks, I love the confectionery stuff, I love the lollies, and I love the bento boxes that you can buy at the supermarket. So yeah, I love the food. It's really cheap to eat out here if you go to the right places. The food is absolutely amazing. Okay, and now to move on to the things that I don't quite love so much about living in Tokyo. The very first one is a bit more of a serious topic, and I'll start off by saying that I know this isn't a Tokyo specific thing. This isn't a Japan specific thing. It's a big city thing. Like, for example, I know this happens in Seoul. I know this happens in New York City. I know this happens all over the world, but it's really affected my time living here, so I'm gonna talk about it. And that is getting followed by creepy guys. There have been 2 instances since I moved to Tokyo where I have been like legitimately followed by men. And one of the guys who followed me, he followed me for like over a kilometer. It was really, really scary. Both instances, they touched me, as in like the first one, he shook my hand. I don't know why I let him. It's probably because I didn't want to make him angry. But the second one, he like tapped me on the shoulder. They both spoke to me and they both absolutely scared the crap out of me. It doesn't help that I'm socially anxious anyway, and when I'm outside and I have to talk to people, I get put a little bit on edge. The 2 instances where it happened, I felt really uncomfortable and really scared, and the guy who followed me for a long time, I was like certain I was going to get abducted, and it's not a good thing. It was a really unfortunate, uncomfortable thing for me to experience. And it's the only thing I really dislike about living here, because now if I go outside and I'm by myself and I'm walking, I feel like I have to be hyper aware of everyone behind me. I'm constantly aware of who's walking behind me, how long they've been there. If someone's walking behind me for like too long, I speed up, and it's something that's now constantly on my mind because I had 2 negative experiences. As I said, I know this isn't a Japan thing, this isn't a Tokyo thing, it's a big city thing. Like, Tokyo is an incredibly safe city, and when this happened, both times it was during the middle of the day. They didn't hurt me, you know, nothing bad happened to me, everything like that, but it's just enough to make me feel uncomfortable. So yeah, that was the very first thing on the list of things I don't like about living here. Because I've never experienced anything like that before. That doesn't happen to me at home. I'm from a small town, I don't get paid attention to, and I much prefer that. Number 2, the shops being really busy and crowded. For the most part, I love living in like a very busy place with lots of people, but specifically it gets a little bit annoying when you're in a shop and, for example, I'm in Tokyo Hands and I want to get to the scissors, and there's like 40 people between me and the aisle with the scissors. It gets really frustrating because I hate being rude. I don't want to push through people, so I have to like walk the long way around, and then that path gets blocked, and then it's just like a constant it's constantly difficult because it's so hard to go into shops sometimes here because there's so many people. And I know a lot of people would just push past, but I don't like doing that. As I said, I don't want to be rude, I don't want to push anyone over, I don't want to bash into any of the shelves and knock stock on the floor. So yeah. Number 3, umbrella death. The second it starts raining here, everyone pulls out umbrellas. Even if you didn't think anyone was carrying an umbrella, even if you didn't see a single one, from nowhere all of these umbrellas just magically appear. And if you're walking along a busy street and everyone but you has umbrellas, they will knock into your face and they will hurt. So if it's raining in Tokyo, be prepared, bring an umbrella. It's really good for keeping out the rain, and it also protects your face from getting hit by other people's umbrellas. Number 5, nowhere stocking my shoe size. My work shoes fell apart, right? Like legit fell apart because of the rain and the humidity, even though they're like really new shoes. My size here is LL, which is like 25 centimeters or like I think I'm a size 8 to 9 US, but no stores stock that size except for like a few stores. So I ended up getting this shoe for work. It's like a tiny heel, and the store is CS and TP Harajuku. So if you have the same shoe size as me, this store does sell shoes. These shoes basically fit me. Like, it's slightly too small. It pinches my toes a lot, but they're shoes and I found them and they were affordable and they fit. So only a small number of stores will actually stock that size, which is, as I said, the LL size. So yeah, it's a little bit frustrating having to go into store after store after store after store and not finding any shoes that fit me. And I know a lot of people have this problem like all the time, like in Australia and in every other country and whatever, but I am so used to being a normal foot size, and here my feet are gargantuan. Last but not least, the weather in summer. I hate humidity. I hate it so much. I don't like hot weather just like as a rule, but humidity is like literally the worst thing in the entire world. It's sweaty all the time, it's suffocating, it drains you, you feel so tired. And during the summer just past, we had like a number of weeks where it was incredibly humid. And it was overcast every single day and it didn't even rain. Like, I love the rain so much, but if it's overcast day after day after day and it doesn't rain, then it gets really depressing. So I'm really glad that it's no longer summer and that it's not hot anymore, because I was not a fan of the summer here. And yeah, those were all the things that I love and don't love so much about living in Tokyo. I will say again that I absolutely adore living here. I feel very, very privileged and very lucky to have this opportunity, and I still kind of can't believe that I do actually live here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a lovely day. Bye.